now I'm recording. Okay, so first starting with simplified hand anatomy, we're gonna start with the palm and we're gonna break this down into a simple flat shape. So the shape for the palm is kind of like a square or a trapezoid for the most part. So the top is wide. I'm gonna try and draw a little harder so y'all can see. The top is wide, and then as we draw both of the sides, it kind of starts to slim inward and get thinner. All right, now for fingers, again, simple anatomy. So I'm not gonna draw bones per se, but I'm gonna show you where different things are. You're gonna start with the knuckle joints by just drawing 4 circles. Kind of space them out a little bit. And then we're gonna start by drawing the fingers. So I'm gonna start with the middle finger, which is gonna be on this third dot. You're gonna draw a short line, add another circle, draw another line, another circle, then a shorter line. So these lines represent each bone. So you got 3 bones in your 4 fingers, 3 bones in these 4, and then 2 in your thumb. So this is your proximal bone. You have a middle bone, and then the tip of your finger is the distal. All your metacarpal bones are in your palm, and then carpal bones are in your wrist. So we're gonna do the same thing for the other fingers, but look at your hand while you do this so it makes sense. Your fingers are not the same length. So for your pointer finger, it's gonna be a little shorter than we drew the middle finger. Each bone is gonna be a little shorter. So they're not the same length. Ring finger will be shorter than the middle finger, but it's longer than the pointer finger. So again, separate it. And then pinky is your kind of your shortest finger. So these bones are going to be shorter than the rest. And then thumbs. So before we add the thumb bone, we have to add one little shape, a triangle, towards the side of this. And then we'll add those 2 bones, starting with the circle for the knuckle. And then another line for the pointer finger. Then we can connect the wrists. In this case, our wrist is going to be a rectangle or another trapezoid. So your wrist is smaller, and then it gets wider as your arm goes down. Now we're just gonna add skin around this. It's a simple outline. So we can start, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start on the left so I don't smear anything. And you're just gonna draw around these bones. And look at your own hand for reference. And when you get to the thumb, round that out. Okay. Now we're gonna draw a simplified side view. So this is the top view. Then we're gonna do a simplified side view. So I'm gonna start with the wrist. And I'm drawing another trapezoid. This is just simplifying my arm for the most part. Then we're gonna draw the palm, and we're gonna do a small actual rectangle for this one to represent a flat. And just like we did with the bone representation, we're gonna do that here. We're only gonna draw 1 finger because you can only see this one from the side. So start with a circle for the knuckle. And then we're gonna do another smaller rectangle for the thumb. Draw a circle for that knuckle. And then separate those fingers. Now, when we get to the thumb, the pointer part of your thumb or the distal bone here, we're gonna curve that line out some. So I'm staying on top of the lines I already drew. I'm connecting the wrist. Up here, I'm gonna do a small curve for the knuckle because your knuckles protrude out if you look at your hand from a side view. Now, when you draw the top part of the skin, all of your lines are gonna be flat. But when you draw underneath it, it's gonna be curved because the fat around your finger and the muscles curve. And then it's another curve here around your palm because you have muscles in your palm as well. Okay, so that is a side view. Okay, so next I'm gonna move this up some. We're gonna focus on each section individually now. So the palm, I'm gonna write it over here. The flat shape you make for your palm is again like a trapezoid. So this would be a top view of your palm, no matter which side you look at. But now we're gonna make this three-dimensional because you will have to draw hands from different angles. Actually, let me do a front view first. So if you were looking at your hand or somebody's hand coming towards you, you would draw it like this. So there'll be a little heel or a little hump up here. So this is the front view. And this little heel I drew, this is where your middle finger would be. So your bones don't lay straight across your hands. Now we will draw a side view. And I'm gonna try to draw it slowly so everybody can keep up. I'm starting with the side. Now that shape I did up front, I'm gonna do again. But I'm gonna slightly change the perspective of it. So I'm basically just drawing a thin cube or a rectangular prism. If you wanted to draw it from the side, again, let's start with a rectangle. But this time we're gonna show the top view of it. I'm actually gonna round this. So this would be top of your hand, side. This is the front where your knuckles come out. And then one more angle. Because in this angle, this is where your palm would be, the bottom of it. So now I'm gonna draw up. And instead of making this straight across, I'm rounding it. And the last section is gonna be fingers. I'm gonna move the paper up some. So again, your pointer fingers, your 4 fingers from your pointer to your pinky have 3 bones in it, and then your thumb has only 2. I'm gonna start with a pointer finger. So you're gonna draw a circle to represent your first knuckle. And we're doing a basic anatomy view. This is like a basic skeleton of a finger. And then I'm gonna curve. Now I'm gonna draw this again, and then I'm gonna break it down into 3D shapes. So I do the same thing. Now over it, I'm gonna break it down into cylinders. Your fingers are round, so a basic shape or form you can use is a cylinder. And I'm gonna break each bone down into separate cylinders. So this is number 1. And I'm gonna do a second one. And from this angle, this is like a finger pointing downward, but it's above your head, which is why we can see the bottom of the cylinder. And for the last one, I'm going to round it out. I'm not going to add a circle at the bottom because this represents the tip of your finger. So these are all cylinders. And now your thumb. Thumb is only 2 bones, so 1 circle for 1 knuckle. And I'm going to draw the thumb going up this way. Another bone for another knuckle. And then this is distal for the tip of your finger. And since I'm about to draw this going upward, the perspective of the cylinders are going to change. So this time we will see the bottom of a cylinder. And again, since I'm drawing the tip of the finger, I'm just going to draw the actual shape instead of a plain cylinder. So your thumb curves like this because you have muscles and fat here. Then it'll be flat on the other side.